Good morning, everybody. I am here with Alice Finch, and she, first off, is probably one of the best people I know. I just really enjoy her just in general, but she has some really special skills and talents, and I wanted to introduce her to you. So she's one of my really good friends, and we've crossed paths in a number of different ways. But Alice, I want to put you on the spot and have you introduce yourself and tell us who you are, your place on this island, your kids, and then I'd love to see what's going on behind you with all that magic stuff.
Well, I've lived here on the island for 24 years. As of this coming Monday, it's my 24th wedding anniversary. And I have two kids who go to school here on the island. Thorin is a current 10th grader, and Hadrian is a current 5th grader. And I've really enjoyed being on the island. I actually did my student teaching here on the island. I'm a teacher. I taught middle school for many years before I had kids. And I think that's partly why now I'm pretty heavily involved in the schools. As being a teacher, you never really lose that vibe. I got really into Lego when my oldest was just very young. As many kids, Lego is a really fabulous thing to do when you're a little kid. And Thorin was pretty good at it, and we spent a lot of time doing it together, and I decided I wanted to be able to build myself and not just sort of clean up after him. And so I started building, and my first mock that I make was, my own creation was Hogwarts Castle, which is a bit of an insane model to be your very first. It's about 400,000 bricks, which is not normal. But that really got me started building again. And one thing led to another. And now I'm a published author in about a dozen different books. Yep. And one I've published all by myself. The others have been through official Lego channels during Kindersley. I have a new Halloween book coming out as soon as it rolls off the presses. And this is where it all happens in my Lego room. So
can we see some parts of your Lego room?
Yes, I will do my best to show you. This is one of the walls of bricks. So everything is sorted by color and by part. So on this particular wall, this is all the tans and browns. This row right here is all tiles. This is plates and bricks. And then we move to the next shade, which is the dark tan, and then the brown, and then the dark brown, and then the dark orange, and then the medium nougat. And then on the back side, there is what we call Brick Alley. More Lego. And this is all the bright colors and the gray and the white and the architecture stuff. So, can you see here?
Oh, we can, yeah.
Just a drawer of windows. And coming around this way, these are all, let me turn the light on here. These are all trays of, maybe it's too dark.
No, we can see it, Alice. That looks really great. Yeah.
These are just all different kinds of curves and shapes.
Wow.
And they're all organized by color.
Oh my gosh.
Just trays and trays of parts. So one of the things that anybody who has built Lego knows is that sometimes you have an idea, and then the hard part is finding the part that you want to use to build it. So if you keep it all organized, then you can find it much easier.
All right. I just have to say, the first time I saw your studio, I was just, and I still am when I see it. I'm just like, oh my gosh, that is the best place on earth. I do have to share that the rest of Alice's house is as magical as this room. She has, if you can ever get invited over there, it is just a wonderful house. She has the Marauders map footprints up her wall. And she's got these wonderful things hanging from her ceiling. Anyway, it's just the most glorious house. I love your house. It's a magic house.
We have TIE fighters and X-Wings fighting on our ceilings.
I love your house. Okay, I want to ask a couple of questions. So you told us how you got started. What is your most favorite project that you've ever done? I know that's a hard question.
That is a hard question. I think perhaps it was building the models for my book. I have let me see if I have one here. It looks like this. And it's just a bunch of architecture ideas. So usually when you build models for a book, or models in general, you're building a finished product. You're building a thing that you want to show to people, hey, I built this thing. Usually you can tell what it is. This was just 2,000 different models of ideas to get other people thinking about how to build things. So it was 100 different ways to build doors or windows or walls or towers or roofs. Not with the intention of saying, here's a finished product, but here's a technique or here's a strategy to get you thinking about what might be useful for your project, regardless of what that is. It's the practice to get you going so that you then say, oh, yes, now I have an idea to go build my thing. And that was really like mind-blowingly complicated, right?
Okay.
I would have a list of ideas. Here are the things that I want to do for how to do windows or doors. And then I would get building and I would go on all these different rabbit holes. Oh, this, I think about this and this, what about this part? And eventually I would just have boxes and boxes and boxes of models, and then to try and figure out how to organize it, right?
Yeah.
You have 2,000 different things. How do you sort of shove it into all the right organization so that each page makes sense?
Right.
And it was just a very sort of satisfying, but also very complicated puzzle to figure out how to make that all work.
My head hurts a little bit thinking about that. All right. So that was your most maybe challenging one. What has been your most favorite? And that might be hard too, because there's lots.
I really like building with other people. And one of the more recent ones that I did, let's see, I build with Thorin actually a fair amount. Yeah. We like to collaborate on models. We just built, he's writing a book, and so he has very clear images in his head about what things look like. And so we built a big model of a bridge with water and landscaping, and it was really great to be collaborating with somebody and share ideas and back and forth. And I think you become better at what you're doing when you have that. So that was really a lot of fun. We just did that basically right before quarantine ended. So that was a favorite for sure.
Okay. And I also wanted you to share a little bit. So Alice Finch is also one of those people that believes strongly in supporting our community, and does that with hard work. So we are of like mind in that, which is, I love that. So she has spent a considerable amount of time in our schools as a volunteer, and sharing this particular talent of her skill set with Legos and what she can bring to the table. I just want you to share a couple of the projects that you've done with our school kids, and many of the kids in this class probably have experienced it, but I'd love to have you share what you've done.
Sure. So one of the most recent projects has actually been at the middle school for a couple years now. I work with the art teacher, and we have done a different project each year. But this year, in second trimester, we did climate change posters where the kids look at the historic 1920s national parks poster. They're very stylized, a very particular look to them. And we use that as inspiration for making their own climate change posters about a particular animal, a particular plant, and sort of an ecosystem, a place. And then they design the posters, and then they build them out of Lego bricks. And one of the reasons why this is of particular importance to me is we get to talk about really current issues. This time it was climate change. Last time it was diversity and superheroes. But then we get to build. Right now I have some medical issues and I have some pain in my